You've been busy this week. You've been interviewing the Manchester United manager. How's it going? What were your thoughts on the back of it? It's come out now. I've seen it this afternoon myself.
Yeah, I chose something. I really enjoyed it. I mean, obviously, you've gone and interviewed Jurgen Klopp. You've gone and interviewed manager. It was actually the first time I've been back in at Carrington since, obviously, we went. It was a couple of years ago now, wasn't it? And spent a bit of time with him before the interview. Obviously, we don't get a chance. People might think that you speak to Jurgen Klopp on a regular basis, or that I would speak to Manchester United people on a regular basis. We don't. We're in the media and we do our jobs. And I've not spoken to anybody in the football department at United for a long time. So it was good to go in there and just speak to him and asked him the questions that I wanted to ask, and sort of, if you like, it's been a challenging time.
Did you get the answers you wanted?
I think, look, I thought he said as much as he possibly could say. What I read was that there's no doubt that Ineos coming in provides an opportunity for Manchester United, but it also provides some vulnerability in the sense that you can see the changes that they're making all around the club, and he's almost last man standing when it comes to the senior people in the club. The CEO has gone, the interim CEO has gone, the CFO has gone, the technical director's been moved, and the sporting director's gone. They're the 5 senior people in the club, so he's obviously the head coach, stroke manager. And in the next couple of months, obviously, Manchester United will make a decision on Erik Ten Hag for next season. But I felt more certain. I said a couple of weeks ago, I hope he gets another season to sort of prove. Same with Maurizio Pochettino at Chelsea. I felt more certain after having spoke to him and seeing the sort of reaction today of United fans, that he's always had a lot of support from United fans. United fans don't turn on the manager. That I felt that he would be in a position to stay on one more year, and that this season, look, some of the football and some of the performances have been really poor and unforgivable at times. You think of what happened in the semi-final against Coventry. Some of the performances in the league that we've seen have been terrible.
But you asked him, I saw the interview, you asked him about the structure of his team. I mean, what did you take from that? Because it didn't seem to me like he said that he was unhappy with it. It was almost like, well, that's what it is, that's what we do, and it's just about injuries. I mean,
the interesting thing on that was, and he did push me back on this, and it was around the fact that there's no doubt Shaw and Martinez are vital to him. One, in that both of them step into midfield with Casemiro and Manchester United are attacking and provide that extra bit of pace and aggression and the braver. So that was massive for him, there's no doubt. He said that to me off camera, he said that to me on camera. It's obvious. We know Shaw's a big loss, we know Martinez is a big loss. But the one thing he said was, when I pushed him on style, was that Manchester United last season had the most clean sheets in the Premier League playing the same way, and that's it. Scoring goals was the problem, and he said that's proof that my style can provide good defensive stats in terms of clean sheets.
But didn't they also? I'm just trying to. It's just coming to me off the top of my head. When it did go badly, it went badly wrong. I'm talking about clean sheets, but in terms of conceding goals, you think there's sort of 6 at City, 7 at Liverpool.
Yeah.
I think 3 at Aston Villa. I think there was 4 at Brentford.
The away record against big teams and some of the performances, they conceded 6-7 goals. But David De Gea won the Golden Glove basically and had the most clean sheets. So it did push me back a little bit, that, because you do forget that, don't you, when you think about Manchester United and Erik Ten Hag last season. They had a lot of clean sheets, even though they conceded goals as well in certain games. So it was a case of, look, this style can work, it's the personnel that are in the style, and we've had horrific injuries. He showed me the fact that they had 30 combinations at back 4, 30 different combinations. Now, we know that's going to cause a problem. Yeah. I still think there are games where they should be doing a lot better, and to be fair, I think he thinks that as well. But he pushed back, and I expected he would do. But I felt coming out of there that I was glad I went in and had the conversation for half an hour. And I think there's no doubt when you meet someone and you speak with them, when we went 2 years ago, you understand the level of work and thought and effort, the obsession of managers' work that they do. And I do feel that giving Erik Ten Hag one more season will definitely work for Erik Ten Hag. I think the fans, to be fair, wouldn't have a problem with it. And I think even for Ineos, to allow them just to bed into the club and not have to think about replacing a manager in the next couple of months. You've got a new sporting director, Dan Ashworth's coming in, a new technical director, Jason Wilcox, is coming. You've got a new CEO coming in. If they're having to embed and integrate a new manager as well at the same time, that's a lot to ask.
You said about Jason Wilcox in the interview in terms of a game model.
Yeah.
And I've seen his answer on that, and Jason Wilcox has only just been there a week. But when you talk about Manchester United, you talk about a game model. You're talking about being on the front foot, creating chances, scoring goals. This Manchester United team this season have scored the same amount of goals as Bournemouth. I mean, is that a problem as well? Brighton, Brentford as well?
I mean, look, the performance levels at times, there's nothing more to say. We've run out. I think we've all run out of things to say about Manchester United this season. The whole season is dependent upon that FA Cup. But you're right, when he talked about game model, there's no doubt that he felt as though there was a game model being built that was in Manchester United, sort of, if you like, values and principles, that sort of, within the boundaries of that. But Jason Wilcox has been brought in to develop a game model. Obviously, Darren Fletcher was in there before. Darren Fletcher's still there doing the job that he was doing. I think, if I'm not being traditionalist here and sort of looking back, but I think Manchester United have a game model. I think they've always had a game model, you know, in terms of the style of play, you know, in terms of the way in which wide players are very important, speed's very important, you know, passing the ball with speed and tempo's really important, attacking play. That is a game model. Now, if we're talking into the granular detail of what positions technically and stuff like that, which they do, they break it down into sort of the nth degree nowadays. That's what obviously will happen in the next few years. But you're still going to have individual coaches coming in who interpret that in a different way. And you know, Jurgen Klopp's game model, was it the game model of Kenny Dalglish or Bob Paisley or Bill Shankly? No. You know, there's no doubt that you'll have to develop and take it forward. I mean, very different style to Gerard Houllier or Rafa Benitez. You think about the game model of Liverpool under Klopp's can be completely different. The game model of Pep Guardiola. Are Manchester City going to keep that same game model forevermore? There's no other Pep Guardiola that exists. So I think it's more about values and principles for me that a club adhere to rather than the specifics of tactics and systems.
OK, well, that's enough of Gary Neville.
It's bad weather, by the way, isn't it?
I know, it's not great weather.